Hi everyone, it's Lauren and today I'm going to be doing another mini haul video for you. If you saw my previous video you saw that I bought a lot of really pretty physical books recently, and I also bought another load on my Kindle, so I thought I'd do a separate video showing the ebooks that I bought. So the first book I bought on my Kindle this month was Elizabeth is Missing by Emma Healey. A load of these books I'm going to show you I've actually taken from the Women's Prize for Fiction long list, and this is one of them. It sounds really interesting. It's the story of an old woman who has dementia who is convinced that her friend Elizabeth is missing, and she's in turn trying to convince everyone around her, and then it kind of goes back to her past, I believe, where her sister actually did disappear. So it sounds really interesting. I've heard some good things about it. The next book I picked up was Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I read Gone Girl a couple of months ago now and I really enjoyed it. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be a bit like faddy, like it was going to be too much hype and I wasn't actually going to enjoy it, but I did really like it, and I've heard from people on here that Sharp Objects is kind of even better. So I downloaded it on my Kindle a few weeks ago so I can get to know her writing style a bit better. And then I also bought A Spool of Blue Thread by Anne Tyler. I've already read this book, so it's going to be coming in my April wrap-up video soon. I really loved it. It's one of those books where not very much happens, but at the same time a lot happens. It's kind of about three generations of the same family, and you've got kind of what's happening now, their family history, it sort of moves through with them. And I really loved it. I couldn't put it down. It's one of those ones. So I'll tell you more about it in my March wrap-up, but March wrap-up, April wrap-up. And then the last book that I got that was on the Bailey's long list was The Country of Ice Cream Star by Sandra Newman. This sounds incredibly interesting. It's set in, I guess, what you would call a kind of post-apocalyptic North America, I think. And the basic premise seems to be that there has been a worldwide epidemic which has killed everybody off, and the survivors of this epidemic are left with a funny strain of it which doesn't kill them instantly, but they don't survive past the age of 20. So you've got this huge mass of feral children running the world, and Ice Cream Star is one of those. And I've heard that it's narrated, like she narrates it in this strange futuristic dialect, so it sounds really interesting. I don't know too much more about it apart from that. I've not really heard anything about it other than the fact it was on the long list and it just sounded really cool. So yeah, I might get to that one next actually. I think that's gonna be a fun one. And then because it's my Kindle and it's free, I just did a whole splurge of classic novels as well. I watched a video by Alicia from Ex Libris, which I will link below, where she does a review of all the, I think it's Penguin Classics. She does kind of a batch review of all of her classic books, and she talked about some of the lesser known kind of Bronte classics, which, I mean, I've read Jane Eyre, I've read Wuthering Heights, but I've not read any Anne Bronte, and I've not read any of their kind of lesser well known novels, and she was talking about those and they sounded really interesting. So I just kind of went for it and downloaded them because they're all in the public domain, so it's whatever. It didn't cost me anything. I've got tons of classics on here. I'm never going to read them. I've just got like a whole library because I was just like, yeah, download. But anyway, the ones that she mentioned that I picked up were The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte and Agnes by Anne Bronte. I also downloaded Villette by Charlotte Bronte and Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell. So this is a kind of nice little range of classics. I've been trying to get back into reading maybe a classic a month just to kind of get through all of these ones that I've downloaded, and just to kind of widen my reading a little bit, because so many classics just get taught in school and then you like, oh okay, we did Wuthering Heights at school, so I've read Wuthering Heights now, and I think it'll be good to kind of branch out and read a couple of classics for fun, I reckon. So that's it, a really quick one today, just kind of bashing through them. Let me know if you've read any of these books or what you've bought recently, what you're excited to read next, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! The most honest, most realistic narrative of what actually goes on inside someone's head that I have ever read. If you think about how I also couldn't just stop situations and what happens. So I also bought Matilda by Roald Dahl, but look how nice that is. Oh, they're going to make such a nice pair.